People from the sky.
I will make sure that everyone has water and food.
I will cover everyone with a safe town.
And every city on the planet will become bright and cozy. What keeps us from making our dreams come true?
I really do the way children like us all over the world suffer from domestic violence, bullying, corporate thefts, war, hunger, natural disasters.
I am living my dream of flying high and watching people from the sky.
Now, finally, I protect them.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 4th Summit of First Ladies and Gentlemen. Protecting childhood, ensuring a safe future. Please welcome the First Lady of Belize, Rossana Briceño.
Greetings. I am Rossana Maria Briceño, the spouse of the Prime Minister of Belize, a proud mother of 3 boys, and a grandmother to a precious baby girl. As a young girl, I grew up experiencing the pure joys of childhood with the fullest sense of freedom. I often played fearlessly in the streets near my home, free from the worries and dangers that many children unfortunately face today. This personal experience fuels my passion for child safety, which is central to my role as Special Envoy for the Development of Families and Children. My mission is to ensure that every child has the opportunity to experience the same joy and freedom I once did. Therefore, I am eager to share more about the progress my country has made in achieving this vital goal. Thank you.
Please welcome the First Gentleman of Denmark, Tengberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here and really happy to be part of the important talks on safety for our children. I'll be in the panel talking about children's safety in cyberspace, and being a father of 3, it's to me a very important subject. Quite some years ago, my son, who's actually present here today, he's now 22 years ago. Quite some years ago, he said to me, "Daddy, wasn't it great? You're so lucky growing up in the 80s in Denmark." And I said, "Yes, well, I guess I was. But what do you mean by asking me that, or telling me that?" And he said, "Well, music was fantastic, the signs, the cars looked great, the clothes, the hairstyles, but most importantly," he said, you grew up without the screen. And this comes from a young big consumer of screen time. And I'm thinking why he said that is actually part of what we're going to debate in the panel of children's safety in cyberspace. And I really hope to see you all there.
Please welcome the First Lady of the Republic of Estonia, Sirje Karis.
Hello everyone. I am Sirje Karis, spouse of President of the Republic of Estonia. I am also a mother of 3 and a grandmother of 5. As a long-time museum director, it has been always important to me to support education, exploration, and creativity. Today, when mental health of young people is one of the biggest challenges of our society, we need even more efforts to ensure that our children are able to learn in safe places. I look forward to sharing my thoughts about safety in the context of education and hope for inspiring discussions. Thank you.
Please welcome the First Lady of Finland, Suzanne Innes-Stubb.
Hello everyone, my name is Suzanne Innes-Stubb. I'm the spouse of the President of the Republic of Finland. And I'm honoured to participate today in the 4th Summit of First Ladies and Gentlemen. As a mother of 2 young children, well, no longer young children, young adults who are setting off to forge their own path in life, I know that nothing deserves our love and protection more than children. Any investment in children's future and in their well-being is an investment for everyone's future. They are the future. Yet, especially in war, children's voices are lost often. I greatly admire the work that Olena Zelenska has tirelessly been carrying out to make sure that that does not happen in Ukraine. Today I'm going to be participating in the session on child safety in education. Education is a crucial part of Finland's success story. After gaining independence, it was free and equal education that lifted us from poverty. For years, we've cooperated with Ukraine in the education sector, and that work is only intensifying today. I look forward to discussing this more in the sessions. So thank you to Madam Zelenska for the invitation to take part in this summit and for choosing such an important topic this year.
Please welcome the First Lady of Guatemala, Dr. Lucrecia Eugenia Peinado Villanueva.
Hello, my name is Lucrecia Peinado, and I'm the First Lady of Guatemala. For over 30 years, I have been a medical doctor and have dedicated my life to do what I love, and that is always a blessing, to work in those areas that you are passionate about. Those have been specifically focused on child survival and promoting the reduction of deaths in children under 5 and newborns. That I have worked mainly through community-level interventions and family-level interventions, as well as in the introduction and improvement of policies and systems from the public health, as well as the public government interventions level. So my expectation and also my contribution to this 4th Summit of Ladies and Gentlemen, I expect it to be that our voices come all together and we use our joint diplomacy efforts, to call the attention, to increase visibility and the sense of urgency to act now for the protection, safety, security of children. Children in this beautiful country, for these beautiful people, and all around the world. So I hope that we all can strengthen this message. Action needs to be taken now. The moment is now. And please receive the warm support from the people of Guatemala and our government to the people of Ukraine, to the children and adolescents of Ukraine. And we wish you strength, and we are here by you. Thank you very much.
Please welcome the First Lady of the Republic of Lithuania, Diana Nausėdienė.
Дорогі українці, доброго дня.
Dear Ukrainians, good morning.
Брати та сестри,
Brothers and sisters,
dear ladies and gentlemen, I am the First Lady of Lithuania, Diana Nausėdienė, and I am here today in Kyiv to promote and develop further international dialogue for the child safety in our families, communities, the world. Every one of you has a unique voice. Use this voice for the sake of children. Join us and stand together with Ukraine for the life.
Please welcome the First Lady of Serbia, Tamara Vučić.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tamara Vučić. Well, I would say just a mother of a 7-year-old boy, Vukan. When I was his age, I used to run and play on beautiful fields near my hometown in western part of Serbia, and I used to know the entire neighborhood. They all, in a way, influenced my development and my growing up. In a fast-paced present, this is a rarity. In a fast-paced present, children are facing many challenges of a modern world that are, even for us adults, very difficult to cope with. Nevertheless, it is our obligation to help them to build their self-confidence, to feel safe and secured, and to find their own place under the sky. That is why I'm truly delighted that this year's topic of the summit is about the most important ones, children. I thank you. Дякую.
Please welcome the First Gentleman of Slovenia, Aleš Musar.
Dobrego ranku. Good morning. I am Aleš Musar. My wife, Natasha, is the president of Slovenia and mother of our son, Max. At 23, he is a young man, not a child anymore. Yet, last year, I was in the forest of Moshchun, where Russian advance on Kiev was stopped. Photos of many young defenders who gave their lives are there on the trees. Seeing that, one thought was overwhelming. These boys and girls are the age of my Max. You never stop worrying about the safety of your child, regardless the age. And we should never stop caring about the safety of the children anywhere. This, I believe, is why we are here in Kiev, because we care. Thank you. Hvala.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the founder of the summit, the First Lady of Ukraine, Olena Zelenska.
Greetings, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Olena Zelenska, the wife of the President of Ukraine and the mother of two. Everything in our family is very much similar to many other Ukrainian families, probably like in many other families across the globe. Yes, it goes as usual until we have a red alert coming from our cell phone to say that another bout of missiles has been sent by Russia to our country and it's time to go to shelter. It's said that my son already knows how to tell a missile from a drone, like millions of other Ukrainian boys and girls. Millions of Ukrainian children already perceive this war as their own reality, but not something you would see on screen, unfortunately. It's said that our kids avoid talking about future, their plans for the future, they avoid building such plans. And when they start talking about that, they normally precede that with the words, when the war is over. Still, our kids have just one childhood, one adolescence, and it should be spent in other circumstances without air raid alerts. This is what I would wish every child in the world. Unfortunately, not a single mother, not a single first lady, not a single country has been able to do it on her own accord. Security can be only given to children by consciousness of the adults worldwide. We owe them that because these children came into our world, and our task is to stop the threat. Let us start to understand how to do it together. Just from the outset, I'd like to start the summit by again welcoming every one of you, dear friends. I'm very glad to see you at this already fourth summit of the First Ladies and Gentlemen. In spite of the previous three meetings also were held at the wartime in Kiev, we've never changed the venue, and I'm cordially thankful to our guests, to our friends, to our speakers who have courage to come out to the country at the time of war. A huge show of solidarity. Big thanks to every one of you. For this time, we've become more than colleagues. We've made friends. I am glad to see the range of friends is growing. Our community is growing. I'm glad to welcome for the first time our first ladies from Latin America. Mrs. Briceño from Belize, an active fighter for the rights of women, dear Lucrecia, Peinado, a professional in health and mental health matters. I am glad to see that the First Lady of Finland, a very strong lawyer, Innes-Stubb, has joined us on the first year of her status. We have Sirje Karis. This is her second summit. And as usual, I'd like to thank to those friends who've been with us for this long path. Dear Diana, Nausėdienė, we have multiple projects in Ukraine, in Lithuania. We have a Ukrainian center operating in Vilnius. Many thanks to you, Diana. Dear Tamara Vučić, the First Lady of Serbia, she is the participant of all of our summits. And this year, we've initiated a separate conference on mental health in Belgrade. Big thanks for this. Special thanks to First Gentleman, Mr. Tengberg, for his support during the last summit. He also participated as a producer in Kyiv Cinema Festival. Now he's making a movie about Ukraine. I'd like to thank Ales Musar for being with us, for caring after our children. There's a foster home from Luhansk. It was relocated to Slovenia, and Mr. Musa paid multiple visits to care after our children. Big thanks for you. As well as we thank you for the mental health projects you're doing in Slovenia for children from Donetsk Oblast. I cannot list everything we've done together so far, dear friends, but me, myself, and Ukraine, we do remember and value it, believe me. I'd like to thank all the esteemed experts, opinion leaders, all of the guests who have joined us. Dear colleagues, the principle behind the summit is to make something useful, not just for this country, but also for the world. Let me brief you about topics we are going to cover today. Last year, our topic was mental health. Particularly for the summit, we had a research carried out, a public survey among 12 countries worldwide. We found lots of interesting results. It appears adolescents react more acutely to stress than adults. For many, me myself, it was news. Shattering this stereotype perception of careless youth. It was also very important to know that among the most factors affecting their lives is really mental health. This is what they said. And yes, we underestimate our adolescents, our young people. We underestimate the challenges they face. And I think now we have to correct it. Because of that, this summit on safety and security of young people and children, this is a wider topic that would take more than one day to cover. Because of that, we took 5 blocks of children's safety. The central topic for everyone, particularly in Ukraine, is the safety of children during war conflicts. I checked a report on the internet from Chicago. There was a girl on the photo there with a placard saying, "Today Russia killed a girl just like me." I'm not sure who this girl was, but this is a telling story she depicted. More conscientiousness there than in many adults. It speaks tons about the need to protect children across the world. I think many people in Ukraine can relate to the photo of a family from Lviv, a family of 2, mother, father. So it was an unhappy moment when practically the whole of the family was killed in a strike, leaving just the father alive. There are many more cases about dangers to the safety and security of children in Ukraine. We are living in such a condition and such a time when we cannot guarantee the safety. This missile strike against Children's Hospital of Ahmedabad is speaking for itself. I think, first ladies and gentlemen, yesterday had a chance to watch the aftermath, to talk to young patients. Now, 18,000 of Ukrainian children kidnapped from the country. We've been talking about that at all international platforms, but only 380 we were able to return. And children become victims of aggressions not just in Ukraine. There are hotbeds of conflict across the world, leading to deaths and maimings of children. They continue being kidnapped, just in spite of all the human rights rules and conventions. Many times we see that these documents are only written on paper, and paper is poor shelter against missiles. We have to recognize that children is under threat everywhere. We will be talking about that at our first discussion panel. Now I'd like to ask you to pay tribute to children killed because of the aggression from adults. Minute of silence, please. Thank you. Just to continue, another dimension we will be taking today is about children's safety in families. One might think how one could compare missiles and family matters. But the perilous irony is that it can be compared. Psychological and physical violence is a big problem for some 400 million children worldwide, a number comparable with many victims of multiple conflicts. So children are being maimed by both bombs and cruel adults. Question is how to ensure a good, loving family for every child. Not a rhetorical question, I'd say. We have such, foster families, big families, giving shelter and love to kids with no real physical families. Maybe they were refused. Maybe the parents had been stripped of their parental rights. My foundation does its best to help such children. We are building new homes for big foster families to accommodate those who lost their accommodation because of the war. In each of those families, I see a confirmation that love and warmth can correct many and heal many wounds. It's never late to heal those wounds. This will be the topic of our second block. I always tell Ukrainian stories that illustrate a lot, like the one about mothers evacuating the children from a danger area and the kids pleading to go back home to the locations they know from their first days, even despite shellings. The children would even quarrel with adults in an attempt to make them return them because it's their home. Their school is there, their friends used to be there, their love teachers are there, and the new location is not really to their liking. This brings some real-life dramas. We might think, how would one risk everything because of school? But this is the topic of our third panel about security and safety at school. Everything will be covered. Bullying, hard treatment, such things that can be more dangerous to our child than even physical safety and security. We'll be talking how to ensure that our children are met with proper understanding to avoid any echoes from the school of the past haunting our children. We'll be talking about the capacity of our teacher to teach our children, to grow leadership skills in them, to make them modern. The fourth dimension of children's safety concerns cyberspace. We are all living in the internet. I think every one of us can relate to something that you found not to your liking in social media, elsewhere. Adolescents live through such internet-based conflicts even at a greater expense. Sometimes they perceive it as a catastrophe. There was a survey carried out last year on the topic to say that 16% of adolescents suffered cyberbullying. 12% more confirmed they participated in cyberbullying.
Teenagers from Central Asia, Canada, and Europe, including Ukraine, responded. Social networks are virtual, but their threats are more than real, not only because they are psychologically addictive, but the information they carry can influence behavior and carry propaganda. For example, when a popular social network hides photos from my post about died children, and these photos are hidden as sensitive content, and instead they leave Russian propaganda posts, this is distortion, and it's no longer objective reality. We need children to understand the dangers that the internet space can pose, to know how not to let themselves to be manipulated. They need to be able to build protection in virtual reality as well, because this is now the basis of survival. They need to know how to use technology to their advantage for learning, creativity, entertainment, and socialization, active social life, and not to become useful prey for insidious adults. The fifth topic is an important dimension, and that is the environmental dimension. This is about the state of the environment we live for them. And to dive deeper into this topic, I invite you to visit the installation here at this summit. Unfortunately, we also have a component of war here. It's a cross-cutting component. 5 pavilions will take you through Ukrainian nature reserves that have suffered and continue suffering from the war. You've all seen people fleeing on the roofs of houses after the Russians blew up the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant. But this is only a small part of the damage that the war causes to the environment. And unfortunately, this impact has no borders either. Because of the Russian occupation, 2 huge nature reserves are in danger, Askania Nova and Black Sea Biosphere Reserve. They are very unique ecosystems with rare species of animals and plants that our children may never see again. All the poisonous emissions that get into the air because of Russian shelling, this is the direct harm not only to Ukraine but also the world, to all our children. Dear friends, each country has its own best practices in child protection. For example, Estonia is strong in cybersecurity. Finland is known for its inclusive school environment, and Japan, for example, is a leader in the indicators of child health. But no country can meet all the challenges at once. That's why our unity and cooperation is so important. To help us better understand what our children feel and think, a new study will be presented today. This is a survey conducted in 15 countries to understand the threats to children's safety, both from the perspective of the younger generation and their parents. I am convinced that the most valuable thing we can hear today at this summit is not the discussions of adults, but the voices of the children for whom we have gathered here. So now I want you not to just listen, but to hear, so that we would understand how to make sure that all children's stories have a happy end. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Пані і панове, Merhabanız. Benim adım Adile. Я Кримтатаром в іменем ватаном Харам. У мене велика та чудова родина. Я завжди
I have a
почувала
large
себе
and beautiful
спокійно та
family.
безпечно.
I've always felt secure next to my parents until the enemy
Коли Росія загарбала
kidnapped my father. When Russia seized my motherland, my parents decided to stay behind because Crimea is the motherland of Crimea Tatars. My father is the member of the parliament of Crimean Tatars, continues to defend the rights and freedoms of the Crimean Tatars. He used to tell the world the truth, and he was condemning the occupation of Crimean land by the Russia's troops. We would find out about the next search or apprehension. We felt our father, but my mother explained that he was doing an important job. In 2021, despite the threats, my father joined Crimean Tatar, Crimean Platform Forum. The next day, he was arrested. In the morning, they came and arrested him. Imagine you're 12, you're asleep in your room, and suddenly your home is invaded by 12 men wearing black balaclavas. I imagined we would be killed. Father was taken away. The night before, he kissed me goodnight, and everything seemed peaceful and fine. Only 3 years later did I see him again. These were the hardest 3 years of my life and my family. Mother would be away for a long time. She would visit court hearings, visiting father in prison. My sister was 9, my brother was 4 at the time, and the younger sister was only 1 year old. I'd have to miss classes at school and then catch up. I'd have to deny invitations to parties from my friends. I had no time for hobbies or rest. I used to take care of our home, doing household chores, and basically my childhood simply slipped by. And I felt lonely because nearby I didn't have the loved ones, and especially parents. I would get tired. I would feel exhausted, but I had to be strong because my younger siblings needed my attention and care. I wanted to show them that they need a sister who would help them. I missed the time I spent with my father. We used to watch travel films together with my father, and I dreamed of future travels with our family. Before going to bed, I used to read Harry Potter books. I'm 15 now. When I found out that my father was let free, was discharged, it was the best day of my life, and not just for me, but the entire people of Crimean Tatars. And finally, we could see each other in the flesh. We had to leave home because my father was denied access to his home in the Crimea. It hurt. But of course, it is more important that the whole family has reunited now. We live in Kiev, and despite air raids and shellings in Kiev, I feel a lot better. I no longer have to conceal my thoughts and the truth and live in fear, being afraid that my home might be invaded by strange men wearing balaclavas. It is important to get our freedom back, childhood to children.
Yakın zamanlarda biz ana vatanımızga, milletimizga qaytarmiz. Teşekkürler.
Now, all the way from Belize, we have another special guest. Please give a warm welcome to Krista Salam.
Yos, hello everyone. With protocols established, I would like to take this time to acknowledge First Lady, Mistress Olena Zelenska. Thank you for choosing the daughter of Chahim to be before you on this great stage. Chahim meaning star was the nickname of my loving deceased father. I am Krista Kelly Salam, a young indigenous Mayan woman from the beautiful and green country of Belize in Central America. As an indigenous woman, daughter of a single mother, we are raised as housewives and never in the spotlight of this world. Thanks to all human rights advocates around the world and my country, we are now striving to be the best to contribute to the development of better society. My father passed away when I was 4 years old. Living without him was never easy. After the 5 of us females, children relied on my mom for everything. After 6 hard years, my mother introduced our stepfather, but he abused liquor and had us sleeping out in the dark countless nights while the cold rain fell. My siblings and I would hug each other and pray to the Chahim for a better tomorrow, and we have remained hopeful ever since. No children should be placed to soak in the force of nature, but we made it through. Eventually, my mom asked my stepdad to leave us in peace. My mom raised us to be survivors and taught us to care for others unconditionally. Because of her love and inspiration, I began working with young people and children who needed to know their rights, to be able to overcome the challenges of life with the support of all parents, organizations, and the community, and not to repeat my experiences that I had. I was able to work on the importance of having a safe home and the ability to push for a better future, seeking scholarship, health awareness by professionals, and soliciting resources to care for the environment through planting of trees, doing cleanup in our community and neighboring community to collectively unite our efforts. One of the children in my group shared his pain. He was being bullied by his father and was called a difficult child. With the support of UNICEF, Belize, and Tide Belize, I helped him through counseling session, giving him the space to let go of his pain through fun games, and taught him to speak out and light the way for his entire family. A while after, his father was arrested. Today, he supports his mother and is now the Chahim for his family and continues to shine in every storm. Children of Ukraine and around the world, you are the present and the future. Your pain triggered me to take my first flight and being away from my homeland and loved ones by the Caribbean Sea. Continue to be the brightest Chahim and lighten the darkest situation for others to see and hear the fight and join collectively responsibilities for others in this life. United, we should stand for growth, prosperity, and success, just like the Chahims in the sky. Do not give up because the world is united for you. Thank you. Tohokre.
Thank you, Krista. Dear friends, welcome to this stage eco-activist Maja Natuk, who came to visit us from Greenland, the Kingdom of Denmark.
Hello, my name is Maja Natuk. I am 18 years old and I come from Greenland. I am a climate change and children's rights activist, and I've been so for about 4 years now. I wanted to talk to you about how I started working with children's rights, and that was when I realized how children and young people were pushed to the sides and deprived of their rights in my country. Just imagine that in Greenland, we have the highest percentage of suicide range amongst the whole world. We are a population of 60,000 people. This has had a huge impact, as in the climate change has, because a huge part of our income comes from the fishing industry. However, because of the climate change, the sea animals has changed locations, which means that people in small cities and settlements has lost their jobs. Usually, these people don't have any form of education because of the lack of resources available. Sometimes, this could even lead to abuse. That includes sexual abuse and depression. I realized how much impact the change in the climate had on the rights of the child. I saw this when the permafrost would ruin several houses because of the foundation, because they would ruin several foundations in the houses, therefore leaving us children without a safe home to grow up in. Another reason why I started working with children's rights was because when my best friend was 13 years old, she was sexually abused by someone very, very close to her family. She didn't want to tell her family because she didn't think that there was any resources available. Therefore, she turned to me. I saw the problems, I lived in it, I experienced it, and as one singular person, I could do absolutely nothing about it. So I became a Greenlandic representative in Denmark, as Greenland is a part of the Danish kingdom. After that, I heard that the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child wanted 12 children around the whole world to be a part of the Children's Advisory Team. So I made an application, and I got in. The Children's Advisory Team advised the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child on how to make resolutions for the General Comment number 26 on the rights of the child. As an example, I was invited to make a speech in front of international experts and policymakers about the children's rights, and that was in Switzerland. Our mission as the Children's Advisory Team was to remind the experts on what needed to be in this resolution for it to have a purpose for all children globally. Because like this, young people and children can learn to understand one another better, to respect one another better, and not to make each other feel powerless. So a war like this won't repeat itself again between other countries. So if you listen to us, you will see the change. If you work with us and take us seriously, there will be positives. I cannot imagine how the children in Ukraine are feeling and what they're going through every single day. I cannot imagine how it must feel to fear for your life every single night, or how it must feel to go to school in the shelter. I know you feel powerless. I feel powerless as well when I think about the situation in Ukraine. I feel powerless back home when me and my friend wasn't heard. However, I learned that we have to keep on hoping, we have to keep on believing in a better future and act for it. We must take our friendly hand and keep on fighting. Because together we are stronger, and when we are together, we are never alone. My hope for Ukraine is that you rebuild in a sustainable and safe way, so the air doesn't get polluted, so the sun shines, and so the children can get the life that they deserve. It isn't just enough that you listen to us children. We, children and young people, must be included in what affects us and work together with the children in need so they can get prioritized. Lastly, I want to say to the children in Ukraine and children all over the world, just know that there are people that support you. We care for you, and our hearts truly beat with every single one of you. Дякую.
Thank you, Maya. Now we give the floor to someone who at a very young age became the caretaker for his brothers and sisters. Please welcome Vyacheslav Yalov.
Всіх вітаю. Мене звати В'ячеслав.
My name is Vyacheslav. I'm 20 years old. I was born in the Donetsk region in Verkhneyartska, which is temporarily occupied. I am the caretaker of my brothers and sisters at age 18. On 17th of March, Russians destroyed everything we had. They took away the best and the most expensive in our lives, and that is the life of our mother. I cannot share all the emotions with you who said the last words in my arms. She said, everything's fine. When my mother was killed, I was at a loss. I was confused. I didn't know what to do, but I realized I had to take care of my family. It's been over 2 years now, and in this role I have learned a few things. But I keep learning still.
I would like to share with you my experience. Security in family stems from trust and mutual respect. So I decided to start with myself, and I'm sharing my mistakes with children. It's normal to make mistakes. To err is human, and we shared different experiences, started joking and picking at each other. Children can ask me any kind of question, ask for my opinion, and they express their own thoughts. Sometimes I cannot know something. I do not know everything. They tell me about the new trends, songs, different jokes, and they teach me to dance. And on their request, we are studying history together. We respect each other. We have different views, styles, hobbies, and dreams, but we accept each other the way we are. That's what family is. That's what family is for. And so we are looking for some solutions for the conflict situations, and I teach them how to be independent and how to analyze themselves, how to resolve their little conflicts. Each time when they have a clash, they have this task to describe who and through who and with whom they can describe and explain it away. And I'm trying to teach them how trifling it can be. We discuss everything, what they like, do not like, likes and dislikes, looking from different angles at the same situation. Children were listening. I cannot tell you how happy I was when they started finding approaches to all sorts of situations. Now they have fewer disputes and discussions. They can solve their own conflicts now. When in preparation for this statement, I was thinking about my preference. I prefer to dream, to hope. Mom would always tell us, everything is going to be all right. And I believe that everything is going to be all right. I do what I can for that every day. We do. that every day is a family. And I will do everything I can, everything in my powers to help them dream, help them try new things, and always rely upon our support. And for the future, I would like them to get together every Sunday, sharing the experience of the week. So that we can together achieve and attain. Now we are living through terrible difficulties. We make mistakes, but we should not stop there. When I feel bad, I always try to think about the next step, the step I can make for the future right now. And another step. Despite all the obstacles, we can do everything. We can win and will be the victors. Glory to Ukraine.
Thank you, Vyacheslav. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my turn to come on stage. My name is Timur Miroshnichenko, and I welcome you all to the 4th Summit of First Ladies and Gentlemen. Yeah, all you know the main theme of our this year's summit, protecting childhood, ensuring a safe future. But first of all, let me express gratitude to our general partners, UNICEF, USAID, and Universal Bank, whose generous support made this event happen. Thank you so much. And of course, let me start with the small announcement. We have really extremely busy schedule ahead with several discussion panels, with engaging conversation, inspiring speeches, and just take a look around. Take a look around. How many world celebrities we have today. This is you. Thank you for coming and joining us. And of course, later on this stage, we will have a special guest, two-time Oscar winner. Just a little spoiler. Okay, but before we start, I want to share with you the latest results of the Summit's International Sociological Survey, conducted specifically for today's event across 15 countries, representing all regions of the world. Yeah, you need to take it.
In today's fast-changing world, protecting our children's safety and well-being is more critical than ever. But what are the biggest threats they face? In August 2024, we launched the Protecting Childhood Survey, collecting insights from 9,000 participants across 15 countries: Brazil, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Iraq, Japan, Kenya, Lithuania, Qatar, Serbia, Turkey, Ukraine, the United Kingdom, and the United States. 300 parents and 300 children, aged 13 to 17 from each country, shared their concerns about the major threats to childhood: economic instability, armed conflicts, digital risks, and mental health challenges. This research was conducted by the international company Catalyze Research in collaboration with Brand Ukraine, with the support of UNICEF. Join us now to uncover the key findings and explore how we can work together to create a safer, brighter future for our children. Because every child deserves hope, protection, and a future.
Dear friends, I'm happy to present together with my colleague Janine Di Giovanni, American war correspondent, co-founder of the Reckoning Project.
Hello, everybody. Very happy to be here. Protecting our children's well-being requires more than just good intentions. It calls for a precise, data-driven approach. As we discuss something as fundamental as safeguarding childhood, using solid data is key to driving meaningful and lasting change. Today, I'm here with Timur to present to you an international sociological survey that illuminates the insights of what children and parents across the globe think or worry about regarding the safety of the younger generation.
Yes, you can look at the screen and see all the numbers. And specifically, our research sheds light on the dominant global challenges that children and their parents face. And interestingly, rising prices have surfaced as the number one issue across all 15 surveyed countries, both for children and adults. However, beyond economic threats, children are keenly aware of environmental issues, with climate change ranking second as a global concern. But the story doesn't stop at the global level. Each country has its own unique set of challenges. For example, children in Serbia, Iraq, and France are deeply worried about sea and river pollution, while in Denmark, Estonia, and Qatar, the fear of AI and technology replacing jobs is a significant concern. The rise of extremism troubles children in the UK, Turkey, and France. Meanwhile, natural disasters are a pressing issue in Japan and Turkey, and in Ukraine, children are particularly anxious about nuclear war and landmines.
Really extraordinary results here. When children were asked to rank issues that affect them directly, mental health emerged as the top concern. This was followed closely by family-related worries, including arguments, illness, divorce, which indicate that personal and familial stability remains central to their sense of security. Beyond family concerns, environmental issues, bullying, whether in person or online, which is a huge issue, are the impact of social media, round out the list. These findings clearly highlight the multifaceted and interconnected nature of the challenges children face today.
A particularly striking insight from the study is that 75% of parents believe their children face more threats to their safety and well-being today than they did during their own childhood.
And this sentiment is especially pronounced in countries like Ukraine, Kenya, Brazil, and Turkey, where the perception of heightened threats is acutely felt. In Ukraine, for example, a staggering 73% of parents reported that their kids face a lot more threats, a sobering reflection of the realities of war and the daily impact it has. On family life.
Yeah, our data also reveals that while children across countries share similar personal concerns, the specific priority of these issues varies by context. For instance, mental health ranks as the top concern in countries like Brazil, Finland, the UK, the USA, and Lithuania. Meanwhile, in Japan, Serbia, Ukraine, and Turkey, children's foremost worry is war and its associated dangers. Environmental issues take center stage in Denmark and France, while in Iraq and Qatar, safety at school is a predominant concern. In Kenya, it's family worries that come out on top. These findings will, of course, fuel our discussions throughout the summit on this stage and on the other stage, ensuring that we not only address the global picture, but also give attention to the critical, localized challenges that demand immediate solutions.
By understanding these dimensions and their variations, we can better equip ourselves to take meaningful action, both globally and locally, to protect the next generation and their future. Thank you.
Thank you, Janine. And of course, I'll see you on the stage later on. Thank you so much.